Story Prime. Have a fantastic evening, and I hope you stay safe. Up next, Fan Central.
Tune in to Lead Story, weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jodi-Ann Quarry.
Brought to you by
Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than entertainment.
Need to estimate your duty? Perform a track and trace? Search for a declaration?
Then download the Jamaica Customs mobile app today. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
12 p.m.
Thanks for joining us for CVM News at Noon. It's Wednesday, February 4, 2026. I'm Amoy Harriet. Up first, one of 3 house fires in 2 districts in Hanover between Tuesday morning and midnight is being investigated as a suspected case of arson by the Lucy Fire Department. CVM News understands that based on information from persons claiming to be eyewitnesses, the allegation is now a police matter. Assistant Superintendent of Police Emilio Somerville, who is the acting second in command of the Hanover Division, says all allegations are being treated seriously. He says the male occupant of the 7-apartment dwelling, which was on Well Lane, is now homeless. We'll have more details later on in CVM News at 7. The Supreme Court in downtown Kingston is now under police guard as the long-anticipated trial involving alleged members of the Clansman gang is officially underway. Among them is alleged gang leader Tesha Miller, who has pleaded not guilty. All 25 accused have also pleaded not guilty. The accused are facing charges under the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organizations Act. Prosecutors allege the group operated as a criminal organization responsible for a series of violent crimes across St. Catherine. The 32 count indictment includes murder, conspiracy to murder, attempted murder, robbery with aggravation, and illegal possession of firearms and ammunition. Now, this marks the start of what is expected to be a lengthy and complex trial. Our reporter Carla Ramdeen is in court and we'll have the details later on in News at 7. Police have charged a St. Elizabeth farmer who was earlier named as a person of interest following the seizure of more than 48 kilograms of cocaine at the Sangster International Airport. Ronaldo Brooks was charged by investigators assigned to the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID, after he surrendered to police on Monday, accompanied by his attorney. Now, following a question and answer interview at the FNID Area 1 office in Montego Bay, Brooks was formally charged with possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, attempting to export cocaine, and conspiracy to export cocaine. The charges stem from an incident on Monday, January 26, when anomalies were detected during an electronic examination of a suitcase at the airport. The suitcase, which was destined for Canada, was searched, revealing several sachets containing cocaine. The drugs, weighing approximately 110 pounds, have an estimated street value of 30 million Jamaican dollars. Investigations into the matter are continuing. A fourth supplementary estimate for the 2025-26 financial year has been tabled in the House of Representatives, pushing government expenditure up by nearly $14 billion. Addressing the lower house on Tuesday, Finance Minister Favored Williams said the bulk of the additional spending has been directed towards the national response to Hurricane Melissa.
Madam Speaker, earlier on I gave the background, the rationale as to why we're taking fourth supplementary for central government and a third one for the public bodies. It is to incorporate a total of $14.36 billion of incremental expenditure, of which $13.4 billion relates to Hurricane Melissa expenditure approved by Cabinet subsequent to either the preparation of or the approval of the third supplementary in September of 2025. And Madam Speaker, I also pointed out that $960 million represented an initial payment to Transamerica Fiber Systems Limited due upon signing of a letter of intent between that entity and the government of Jamaica to pursue the provision of additional subsea fiber capacity.
Our Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, is urging policymakers and researchers to pay closer attention to Jamaica's shifting demographics. He says an aging population, declining fertility rates, and future workforce concerns must be carefully examined to protect quality of life and social stability. Dr. Tufton says these trends cannot be ignored.
We want people to enjoy life, and we want the people to enjoy a period of life that could truly be said is what they expect. We have an aging population that is impatient of debate. We're having fewer children, and as a result, our response to this population, both those who are young but those who are not so young, and those who are aging and getting to a stage where they may want to leave the workforce either involuntarily or voluntarily, there is going to be a need to support that population.
January 2026 has marked a historic moment for Jamaica's crime statistics. The country recorded just 33 murders, the lowest January figure in 25 years, and the lowest monthly total since systematic records began in 2001. Commanding officer for the Manchester Division, Superintendent Kerry Duncan, says this represents a 55% reduction when compared to January last year, when 74 murders were recorded. This means 41 lives were spared.
We have a very unfortunate incident that occurred between January 31st and February 1st, where we had 3 incidents that resulted in 4 deaths within the parish. This is very unusual for us, as up to that time, since 2026, as a matter of fact, since late December of 2025, we had not recorded a single murder in the division. So this certainly was a very unfortunate situation.
Now, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security has disbursed over $115 million to Jamaicans whose homes were damaged or destroyed by Hurricane Melissa, delivering on their commitment to support every affected family in the national reconstruction effort. Now, under the Restoration of Owner-Occupant Family Shelters Roofs program, 1,305 households have received financial assistance across multiple payment modalities, with all systems now fully activated to accelerate disbursements nationwide. And in our live interview later on, we'll have this broken down and we'll learn more about the payment system. But it's time now for a break. Stay with us. We'll have more details in that live interview when we come back.
Ashman's Equipment, the new name in forklift sales and rentals in Jamaica. Top quality, low prices, fleet discounts available, 12-month warranty, free service parts, daily rentals, crazy cheap. Ashman's Equipment, same forklift, better deals.
In need of a loan? AIM Financial is the place to go. We have loans from $20,000 to to $3.3 million. Get a loan to pay school or college tuition, medical expenses, bills, fix up your house, buy furniture and appliances, repair or buy a car. And when you're done, take a vacation loan. AIM has a loan for any purpose. Call AIM today. You won't find a better deal elsewhere. Guaranteed.
Every dream conquered is another dream game. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction. 'Cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music is a play, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't fit the dark, shine your lights
Welcome back to CVM News at Noon. The newly established National Payments Company of Jamaica, NPCJ, is now the engine behind Jamaica's multi-billion-dollar roofs housing recovery program. Powered by WePay, their digital payment system is currently rolling out multi-billion-dollar relief to roughly 68,000 households affected by Melissa. Here to discuss the rollout is Kibwe McGann, who's the country manager of the National Payments Company of Jamaica. Good afternoon, Mr. McGann.
Good afternoon. How are you? And thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. So talk to us, first of all, how will it work? Walk us through an example. Say if I live in Westmoreland and I lost my roof, how does this program work for me?
So what would have happened right after Hurricane Melissa? The team from MLSS would have gone out into the field. They'd have done assessments on several properties. They'd have physically gone, done the assessment, and people would have fallen into one of four categories. The categories that WePay is responsible for happens to be category 3 and category 4. Those are the people most affected. The category 3 people qualify for 200,000 Jamaican dollars, and category 4 qualifies for $500,000. So you would get a message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security say that you've qualified. And then from there, you'd get either a QR code or a text message. You may get both. And what that does is when you go to one of the participating hardware stores, they have one of our WePay machines. And from our WePay machine, they are able to scan that QR code. And that QR code then tells the hardware store that this person qualifies for $500,000 or $200,000. From there, the recipient, the grant recipient, they'll now be able to shop within the hardware store and take up to $500,000 or $200,000 of goods. You may ask, why not just give these recipients the cash? So in a previous pilot, the government tried that, and unfortunately, some people use the cash to do other things. One person in particular took a trip to Miami. But that's not the intention or the use of the funds. The whole idea is to rebuild. So the Prime Minister at the launch, he was very clear about what the funds were to be used. And he also shared that, MOCA would be doing secret assessments and checking if people redeemed the grants and actually started building on their houses. So MOCA will check with the hardware stores. They'll go back and check with, locations of people who collected. So how does that even happen? So we were challenged, with the question of how do we create a system that offers efficiency, visibility, and reliability in the space. So our machines actually speak directly to a dashboard that we have. And that dashboard, anyone in the ministry, anyone in the government, anyone from MOCA's side, they'll be able to look and see that John Brown redeemed $500,000 at this hardware store in St. Elizabeth. From that, they'll also be able to check that John Brown actually has material now building his house. And and all of that is to circumvent the opportunity of fraud and just people trying to outsmart the system. So that's something that WePay already does in several countries. We do that in Grenada, we do that in Trinidad, we do that in Barbados. So it was really about bringing this technology to Jamaica and ensuring that the funds designed to help rebuild and restore were actually used for that.
So is this what you guys term as a controlled digital voucher system, or is that something different?
Yes.
Oh, that is it.
Completely. That is it. The QR code is really a voucher, so it's a text message. So for a person to redeem, they'd get that QR code on their phone or the text message. They go to the hardware store, the machine scans it, and then also the person will have to present their ID, a government issued ID, whether their driver's license, national ID, passport, voter's ID. The machine takes a picture of that, and then the machine also, they hold up that machine and they also take a picture of the person collecting. So it's not like John Brown's friend or son or something found the phone, found the text message, runs to the hardware and tries to redeem that for themselves. No, because the hardware stores have been trained to take a photo using the same machine of the person collecting the grant.
No, Mr. McCann, we see where criminals are getting creative these days. So this seems like the kind of system where hackers might try to, get themselves involved or get their hands on. So how exactly would we, bearing in mind, by the way, that the security systems you say are in place, hackers always attack security systems looking for any little bit of vulnerabilities they can find and whatever ways they sometimes feel like they can succeed. How confident, though, are you that hackers can't get around your security system?
Well, the beauty about this, it's closed looped. So everything actually flows through WePay. And just so listeners can understand, WePay processes across the region billions of dollars daily. You have to think of WePay much like your PayPal or your Stripe. And we have an entire team dedicated just to fraud management, mitigation, and protection. So this is something we do every day. This is like a walk in the park for us. So we do have our security controls embedded, and we do have a team that actively monitors this. But I mean, outside of that, this is closed loop and is not something open and outside there in the world where you just jump online and find a way to hack in. No. So it's very protected.
God forbid, though, what happens if they actually do get past the system and manage to steal money? Who then bears that loss? Is it you or the government? When I say government, I mean us as taxpayers. Who bears that loss?
Well, I'll show you more than that. It would virtually be impossible because the money never actually moves until goods are actually taken. And for goods to be taken, your photo, your ID, all of that first has to be verified. So even if the hardware were to supposedly be working with somebody and gave someone the false goods, the question of it is whose photo is going to show up, whose ID is going to show up, whose TRN is going to connect all the dots. And once it don't match, then the government doesn't move that money over to the hardware.
Okay, I see. So is there some sort of trial period with a limited number of users to actually see how properly the system works?
We've already gone through that trial period. In fact, we started off with a trial group of 50. So we've already passed that. Since the official launch, we've probably redeemed somewhere in the region of about $25 million so far. The system was officially launched last Friday. And we're rolling it out slowly across the different parishes through the different partnered hardwares. So it's been tried, tested, and at this point proven across the region. So I share with you that we've done this in Grenada, we've done it in Trinidad, Barbados, but we've worked with international organizations such as Food for the Poor, the UN, a lot of multinational NGOs.
And just before you go, talk to us. Do you believe that perhaps systems like these, similar initiatives like these, is the way to go when it comes to huge funding initiatives like this one? I mean, we're dealing with a multi-million-dollar initiative right here. Do you think that this system or similar systems is the way to go?
Yes, I was just sharing with you, it's multi-billion-dollar.
Multi-billion-dollar.
This particular intervention is somewhere in the region of $10 billion. So what I will share with you, the short answer is yes. And we first rolled out the system during COVID. So, I mean, about 4 years ago, we'd have partnered similarly with the World Food Program and MLSS, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, where we helped 28,000 people across the island and we distributed $4 billion. And it was used by a similar system. So lessons that we also learned from that have been applied in addition to additional fraud measures, scamming measures, because one of the problems before then, even where people were trying to have, different people try to collect on their behalf.
Okay.
So the whole idea of having a whole camera system where we're taking a photo of you, taking a photo of your ID, all of that thing is to mitigate against it. So it has been a
On that
learning.
note, though, Mr. McGann, especially given the Jamaican context, and we're just about out of time, so 30 seconds.
Sure.
The pictures and all of that on the system, we have a lot of Jamaicans who are digitally hesitant when it comes to the online platforms and, the phones and the technology. How then do you ensure that the take-up is what you'd want it to be, and also that persons can easily navigate the system to achieve what it is that they want to achieve?